What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we have got some blue cards that we need to be taking a little bit of a look at, including one that is rather redonkulously exciting, and that is because it is the first ever Combi Tamer. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. The first time we have ever seen two Tamers on one card. We've got the combination of Sora and Joe, and I think it's a blue card, but can we seriously do something about the whole blue and purple thing in Digimon? For colorblind folks like myself, this is, it's not making me happy, ladies and gentlemen. It is really not making me happy. But you know what is making me happy? Combi Tamers. And this is one of those things whereby we've seen it once, it's going to keep happening. Like, it's not like this is some random one-off Combi Tamer and we'll never see one of these again or any of that rubbish. No, ladies and gentlemen, you can expect to see Combi Tamers coming round and round again. So, you know, I suppose this is probably one of those moments where you should have a think about which two Tamers you want to see together on a card and start making some lovely predictions. But what does it do? Well, for that, we have to go over to our lovely friends over at the Ensan Gaming channel. Now, it is a 4-cost Tamer to play normally, which is on the higher end we see for Tamers. And it's got the exact same skill we see on every Tamer, which is to say, when it comes out as a security card, you just play it without paying the cost. This is the kind of thing by now that we should be expecting when it comes to Tamers. But what does it do? Well, first of all, it's got a lovely skill that gives you memory, as so many Tamers do. During your start of your turn, if your opponent has a Digimon without evolution sources, gain 2 memory. Now, this is weird because it's double Joe. Like, it's literally just double Joe. So, no, wait, double Matt. Double Matt. Sorry, I was just talking to Joe, not the same Joe. And Sora and Joe are on this card, but Sora and Joe are double Matt. Matt is a 2-cost, and at the start of your turn, if your opponent has a Digimon with no Digivolution cards, you gain 1 memory. This is a 4-cost that, under the same circumstances, gains you 2 memory, which is cool. And gaining 2 memory is awesome. We don't generally see gaining 2 memory on Tamer cards. Now, there are a million Tamers out there that will gain you 1 memory. They're everywhere. Gaining 2 memory? That is genuinely something a little bit rare. In fact, I'm over on DigimonCard.dev, a brilliant website to use for research, and I'm even using their English language mock-up here. Now, this is an unofficial mock-up, but they've taken an awkward, blurry, skewed picture from a magazine, cleaned it up and added a translation, because those dudes are awesome. And I'm looking on DigimonCard.dev, and I'm searching trainers that gain 2, as in gain 2 memory, and this is the only one that I'm seeing. So in terms of memory, this is awesome. Yeah, there are a bunch of ones out there like Mimi that will put you up to 3 memory at the beginning of your turn, but that only gains you 2 memory if you start the turn with 1 memory. Plus, we need to remember that when skills activate at the same time, you get to decide the order in which they are applied. So if you've got one of these Tamers out that will put you up to 3 memory, and you've got Sora and Joe, you'll go up to, well, I mean, you can choose to do it the other way around and go up to 3 memory, but that would be dumb. You go up to 3 memory, then you use this to go from 3 to 5. That is good, ladies and gentlemen. But wait, there's more. On your turn, when one of your blue Digimon attacks, you may suspend this Tamer and trash the bottom 2 Digivolution cards from one of your opponent's Digimon. Which is awesome. Like, really genuinely awesome. And it's double Matt. Which really amuses me. Because we've got the Matt that came in BT1. Now, this is one of those ones that if you got 2 or less memory, you set it to 3. And when you play a blue Digimon, you may suspend this Digimon to trash the bottom Digivolution card from one of your opponent's Digimon. Well, this is when you attack, not when you play a blue Digimon, so it's slightly different. But you're removing 2 Digivolution cards rather than 1. So essentially, it does double what the other mat did and double what the other mat did, which is cool and weird and awesome, and frankly, ladies and gentlemen, I am all over it. It is a 4-cost Tamer. Now, to be fair, I play a lot of green, so Mimi as a 4-cost Tamer seems fine. And if you play 4 of them, they're going to end up in your security cards moderately often. So you'll get to play it for free or play them for free occasionally. But really what we're seeing here is just a great option for a Tamer. I shouldn't use the word option when option cards exist, really, should I? That gives you extra memory and gets rid of Digivolution cards. And essentially what we've got here are 2 effects, both of which are not only good effects, but they are objectively better than the alternative we've seen. Like, can you honestly tell me that getting rid of 2 Digivolution cards on attacking is not better than getting rid of 1 when you play a blue Digimon? Bearing in mind it's play, not evolve. Can you honestly tell me that gaining 2 memory is not better than gaining 1 memory under the exact same circumstances? Yeah, I know there will be weird circumstances where you could have put your opponent to 1 memory, but you gain an extra memory and now it's on 0 and now you've got to put your opponent on more memory. Fine, but I'm not worrying about that today, alright? This is a really good Tamer card. So what can we expect from these combo Tamers in the future? Well, probably we can expect them to be moderately expensive, definitely feature 2 Tamers, and have 2 effects which are better than the effects we would see on single Tamers. We've seen plenty of single Tamers with 2 effects, but both of these effects, as I've shown you, we can look at Tamers and just go, yeah, this is better than what they did. But there is a level 5 blue Digimon that has also gone and been revealed, and there's lots of news coming thick and fast at the moment, so I do think we need to try and fit another card into this video, so let's have a chat at CRYSPALEDRAMON? Some of these have weird names, alright? I'm doing my best. Now, what we've got here is a level 5 Digimon that is an 8-cost to play normally, which does put it on the higher end for level 5s. A 3-cost to Digivolve, which is what we see from the vast majority of level 5s. And 7,000 power, which is pretty much average for a level 5. So it's pretty standard, but it's slightly expensive to play normally. Needs to have some skills. Yeah, it totally does. Now, the one I really like here, no, to be fair, it's just an awesome card. You see, it's got a skill whereby when you Digivolve, you trash 1 Digivolution card from the bottom of all of your opponent's Digimon. Not just 1, you are trashing it from all of them. That is great. Bearing in mind we've got cards like Sora and Joe that we've just seen, and Blue is tripping with this, right? Blue have a bunch of cards which trash Digivolution cards, and a bunch of cards that take advantage of you having trashed Digivolution cards. So now you're coming around here and showing me that I can get rid of 1 on all of them? That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And as far as I'm concerned, that makes it worth playing. You've got a Digivolution skill rather than a play skill, so you're only just evolving it up like normal, and although it's more expensive to play normally, it's not more expensive to Digivolve, so that's awesome. Now you're trashing 1 Digivolution card from the bottom of all of your opponent's Digimon. I mean, bearing in mind we've got stuff like Digiburst now that makes you discard or trash X number of your Digivolution cards. But if you can trash enough Digivolution cards, you can legitimately turn off your opponent's Digiburst skills, because they now no longer have enough Digivolution cards to actually activate the skills in the first place, which is clearly hilarious. So yeah, this is an awesome skill. And then it's got an inheritable skill as well. On your turn, while your opponent has a Digimon, any Digimon, that has no Digivolution cards, this Digimon gains security attack +1. Again, this is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Because we don't really have that many good ways to raise security attack in Blue. It's not really what Blue does. Now, we did see Vikemon that itself gets an extra security attack and an extra 1000 power while your opponent has any Digimon with no Digivolution cards. Clearly, there is a great combo to be made here with Vikemon, because now you've got security attack +2, but it's also more likely that your opponent has got any Digimon with no Digivolution cards, which is awesome. We have got the promo Wergarurumon that gives you security attack +1 if you've got 8 or more cards in your hand, but how often do you have 8 or more cards in your hand? Like, it's way more likely that your opponent is going to have a Digimon with no Digivolution sources. Of course, at this stage, many of you are probably yelling at the screen, Wassy, it's Wergarurumon from the starter deck. And you're right. Wassy, it is Wergarurumon from the starter deck, which is, we've seen a couple of these lately, which is to say older cards which are being reprinted and essentially better. What we've got here is one more cost to play normally, same skill, but a great Digivolution skill. And you are very, very rarely going to be hard casting as an 8 cost a level 5, or even as a 7 cost. So if I'm going to be Digivolving up anyway, I've got the same power, the same inheritable skill, the same cost, but a really good Digivolution skill. I mean, CRYSPALEDRAMON here, you're never going to play Wergarurumon again. At least I'm never going to play Wergarurumon again. And we said this a couple times lately for older cards. This card is gone now. This card is trash. I ain't ever playing that. I love this card. We've taken a card that was good and that people played and saw its way into decks, and we've just gone and replaced it with a card which, and again, I've said this earlier in the video and I mean this, objectively better. I'm calling this a 4 Wassy card, and honestly, I think this might be a little bit misery. I love the inheritable skill. I loved it on Wergarurumon. I love it on this. I love the Digivolution skill. I love the combo with Vikemon here. I'm just generally a pretty big fan of this card. It seems pretty good. Going over to the Combi Tamer again, because we do need to give that a score. I am really torn here. Because on the one hand, I love this. I think it is a phenomenal card. And on the other hand, it's a 4-cost Tamer. And I don't know about you guys, but 4-cost Tamers worry me. They've got to be really over-the-top good to warrant being played. But this might be really over-the-top good. So I'm going to go ahead and give this 4 Wassies again, and I don't feel particularly good about this score. I think you could easily put it up, and I think you could easily put it down. So, I don't know, let's go there, see where we land. And just as I thought this video was about to be ready, about to go online, it was ready to be posted, no, ladies and gentlemen, there's another Combi Tamer coming. What am I going to do? Not cover it in a video? No, ladies and gentlemen. That does not sound anything like me. So we're going to need to have a little bit of a chat about Taichi and Yamato. Yeah, that's right. It's another one of these Combi Tamers. Now, you knew this was going to be in the video because it's clearly on the thumbnail. I didn't know this was going to be in the video when I started recording, so I suppose we've all got a little bit of a surprise here. Well, mostly me, to be honest. So, again, we've got a 4-cost Tamer. Now, interesting to note that this is a white Tamer, although not the first we've seen in BT5, obviously. And you can probably guess where we're going with this one, right? White Tamer from the set Battle of Omega. You can tell this yourself. Now, it's got a lovely skill that gives to, obviously the same security as always. If it comes out as a security card, you play it for free. We know that by now. But at the start of your turn, if your opponent has a level 6 or higher Digimon, you gain 2 memory. Now, this is good. Again, we talked earlier in the video, we don't need to repeat ourselves too much about gaining 2 memory with a Tamer and how gosh darn good that is. That hasn't changed in the last couple of minutes. It's still a really good thing. So this is something we should probably be a little bit excited about. And the fact of the matter is, right, your opponent having a Digimon with no Digivolution sources when you're playing against it with a level 5, that's fairly likely. But your opponent having a level 6, that's pretty much a given. Unless you're playing against, like, Rookie Rush, and we've seen that there are cards in this set that are not nice to Rookie Rush, you're going to be playing against someone who's got a level 6 Digimon. Or your opponent's going to do that thing where they deliberately don't play a level 6 Digimon to hurt you, but cool. I've said this many times over many games over both my channels. If your opponent is deliberately not playing a card that they would want to play to try and hurt you, that's a good thing. That's a win for you. So you're pretty much always going to gain 2 memory at the start of your turn against the vast majority of decks. So although it is a 4 cost and 4 cost is expensive, if you can have 2 turns of your opponent having a level 6 out while you've got this Tamer, you pay it back straight away, which is awesome. But the second effect here even makes Sora and Joe look a little bit rubbish. Because what it does is all of your Omnimon, all your Digimon with Omnimon in their name, gain security attack +1. Yet, just in case Omnimon wasn't good enough already, we're now giving all the Omnimon security attack +1. Now, we could go back to the Omnimon from Booster 1.0 and remind ourselves that the first time you attack, you can unsuspend it by returning a level 6 to your hand. So you essentially get to attack twice. And of course, if you're attacking twice, but you've got security attack +1, that is essentially like attacking with security attack +3. It's ridiculous. That's a very good thing. We've got that new Omnimon that I showed you just yesterday. I think I put in the description something like it looks nuts. And it does. It does look nuts. When you Digivolve, you've got Blitz, and you unsuspend when you Digivolve, and if it would be deleted by a card effect, you can prevent it by trashing one of your level 6 Digivolution cards. Which, again, seems a little bit overly good. Like, this is the set which has been bringing us all of the Omnimon support, right? This is what this set has done. It is a very Omnimon-focused set. But this really does seem to be going just a little bit over the top good. I mean, we saw Omnimon Zwart, remember, which is in this very same set. When you Digivolve, you can trash the top 3 cards of your deck and play 2 black or purple Digimon with a play cost of 8 or less from your trash without paying the memory. And I told you in the video when I first looked at this card, and my opinions have not changed, this is blatantly Chimeramon, because you get to delete one of your opponent's Digimon when you play it, and you're playing it for free. And you delete one of your own, but purple's got loads I don't mind deleting. And then when you attack, you can return a level 6 Digimon from the Digivolution cards to your hand to delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon with a play cost of 12 or less, which is almost any level 6. And then obviously below. It's ridiculous. So yeah, the Omnimon cards are good. And I know this is a 4-cost Tamer, and I want to look at it and go, oh, 4-cost Tamer, can't trust it. But actually I look at it and go, even though it's a 4-cost Tamer, I really do think this might be one to take rather seriously. This looks awesome. I'm giving this between 4 and 5 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies. That would be barbaric. And honestly here, if anything, I've been a little bit harsh and a little bit misery, and this should actually be attracting a higher score. This is one of those cards that has the potential to take, the best Digimon in the game, or one of them at least, and make it absolutely nuts. Okay, now I've added this, let's go back to the regular outro. I want to know what you think though. So let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassie. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wassie Plays.